It's October 1985, and the air in Clifton, a sleepy little speck of a town, feels heavy, like it's holding its breath. The kind of quiet where you can hear a dog bark 3 streets over, or the wind rattling the dry leaves against a window pane. But on the night of October 14th, something snaps that stillness wide open. A gunshot, actually rips through a modest house on Avenue O, and by morning, the town's waking up to a horror show that'll haunt it for decades. This isn't just a murder. Buddy, this is the story of Mickey Bryan's brutal end. Her husband Joe pinned as a killer, and a tangle of doubt and dread that still twists through Clifton like a snake in the grass. Let's set the stage, real slow and eerie-like. It's late, past 9 p.m., and Mickey Bryan's alone in her bedroom. She's 44, a 4th-grade teacher with a smile that could melt ice. The kind of woman who'd bake cookies for her students just because. Her husband, Joe, the high school principal everybody loved, is 120 miles away in Austin, schmoozing at a conference. Or so he says. The house is dark, save for a faint glow from a lamp somewhere, casting long, jagged shadows on the walls. Then, bam, a .357 revolver, loaded with birdshot, spits fire. Not once, but 4 times. The first slug tears into her chest, shredding muscle and bone, blood spraying like a busted pipe. The second catches her arm as she flails, a wet crack as it rips through. The third punches her gut spilling heat onto the sheets. The fourth, right through her skull, brain matter splattering the headboard like some sick abstract painting. The air stinks of gunpowder and copper, thick and choking. She's gone before she can scream. Her body crumpled in a tangle of soaked linens, the bed a slaughterhouse red. Whoever did it doesn't stick around. No footprints, no tire tracks. Just the echo of those shots fading into the night. Come morning, her boss at the elementary school notices she's a no-show, unheard of for Mickey. He grabs her folks, and they roll up to the house. The front door is unlocked, which ain't unusual in Clifton, but the silence inside is wrong. They push into the bedroom. And Jesus, the sight hits like a freight train. Mickey sprawled there, cold, her face half gone, blood crusted black around the edges. Her mom screams, a sound that claws at the walls, while her dad just stares, like he's trying to unsee it. The cops get called, and soon the place is crawling with Texas Rangers and local badges, all scratching their heads. No murder weapon, no witnesses, just a metal cash box and closet, empty and dusty, and a whole lot of questions. Now, let's swing the spotlight over to Joe Bryan, the guy they pinned this nightmare on. Joe's 45, a lanky fellow with a gentle voice and eyes that crinkle when he smiles, like a dad from a sitcom, not a monster. Born May 8th, 1940, in Valley Mills, just down the road from Clifton. He's a local through and through. Grew up in a clabber house with a mom who doted on him, and a dad who taught him right from wrong. Or so the story goes. He's a Baylor grad, class of 62, then snagged a master's from Trinity in 68. Education's his thing, steady, respectable. Met Mickey Blue when they were kids, reconnected in grad school, and tied the knot in 69. They couldn't have kids, but they built a life anyway, moving to Clifton in 75 when Joe landed the principal gig. Folks loved them, Joe with his corny jokes, Mickey with her quiet kindness. They'd stroll the town at dusk, hand in hand, like a postcard of small-town bliss. But dig deeper and there's cracks. Joe's childhood wasn't all sunshine. His dad was strict, maybe too strict, and Joe learned early to keep his head down. He was a loner kid, more into books than ball games, and some say he carried a quiet streak that could turn cold if you pushed him. By the time he's principal, he's got this polished exterior, churchgoer, community guy, but there's whispers he's got a temper buried deep. Nothing concrete, just rumors, the kind that fester in a town like Clifton. Then Mickey's sister, Penny Blue, swears he got a dark side, though she's light on proof. Still, Joe's life looks golden till that night in 85. So what flips the switch? What turns a guy like that into a killer? Or does it? The cops zero in fast. Joe's in Austin, sure, but they figure he could have slipped out after his 9:15 p.m. call to Mickey, driven 2 hours home, blown her away, and hightailed it back by morning. Motive? They toss out a $300,000 life insurance policy. Like that's enough to make a man butcher his soulmate. Evidence? Slim pickings at first. No gun, no bloody clothes. But 4 days later, Mickey's brother Charlie borrows Joe's car and bam, finds a flashlight in the trunk with tiny blood specks, type O, same as Mickey's, plus some plastic bits that might match the birdshot shells at the scene. That's it. That's their golden ticket. October 23rd, Joe's at his mom's place in Elmont, and the Rangers roll up, cuffs out. You're under arrest for murder, they say, and Joe's like, are you serious? TV crews are already there. Cameras rolling, and Clifton's rumor mill kicks into overdrive. Let's paint that murder night again, 'cause it's the meat of this mess. Joe claims he's at the Hyatt Regency in Austin, chatting Mickey up on the hotel phone. Love you. See you tomorrow, he says, and she echoes it back. He hangs up, maybe grabs a beer, hits the sack. But the prosecution's got a wild tale. Joe sneaks out, jumps in his Chevy, and guns at 120 miles through a rainy Texas night. No one sees him leave. No one sees him drive. He gets home, grabs a .357 they kept for snakes, and unloads on Mickey for shots, close range, no mercy. Blood's everywhere, soaking the carpet, dripping down the bed frame. He's quick, clinical, changes out any splattered clothes, ditches a gun somewhere it'll never be found, keeps the flashlight for no damn reason, and drives back. Slips into the hotel by 8:30 a.m., clean as a whistle, ready for the conference. 4 hours driving, an hour to kill and clean, it's tight, real tight. But they say he pulls it off without a single eyeball clocking him. You buying that? Trial hits in March '86, and it's a circus. No eyewitnesses, no smoking gun, just that flashlight and a blood-spatter expert named Robert Thorman, who says the specks prove Joe was there. Charlie hires a special prosecutor to seal the deal, and they lean hard on the insurance angle. Joe's defense? He was in Austin, period. His car's odometer and gas receipts back him up, but the jury doesn't care. Guilty, 99 years. Then plot twist, 88. An appeals court says the judge screwed up, and Joe gets a retrial. Same song, second verse. Guilty again, 89, back to the cage. Thing is, that blood spatter guy, his work gets trashed years later by the Texas Forensic Science Commission. Called it absolutely unreliable. Too late for Joe, though. He's already locked up, doing time for a crime he swears he didn't do. Now, let's crack open Joe's head. Psychologically, he's a puzzle. He's not some frothing psycho, smart, controlled, a planner. If he did it, it's not rage. It's calculated, like a math problem he solved in advance. Motives, shaky money? Maybe, but he and Mickey weren't fighting over cash. Love gone sour? No one saw it. Some shrinks later peg him as a guy who bottles stuff up, resentments, maybe, or a need for control. But here's the kicker. He doesn't fit the killer mold. No history of violence, no red flags beyond small-town gossip. Compare that to, say, Dennis Dunlap, a cop turned suspect in another Clifton murder, Judy Whitley, a 17-year-old raped and strangled 4 months earlier. Dunlap's a predator. Bragged about banging Mickey, offed himself in '96. Joe's family screams he's a real culprit, and the MO's different. Strangling versus shooting, but the timing spooky as hell. Back to the kill itself. Mickey's alone, vulnerable, perfect prey if Joe's not the guy. No forced entry. So either she knew her killer or Clifton's unlocked door, Vi bit her hard. For shots suggest intent, not panic. Someone wanted her gone, no ifs, ands, or buts. Joe's story holds water if you ignore the flashlight, but that damn thing's a linchpin. Planted? Maybe. Charlie's got motive. Insurance cash could have gone him if Joe's out of the picture. Or Dunlap, stalking the town, could have slipped in, pulled the trigger, and vanished. Joe's not picking victims like a serial nut. He's got one target. If he's guilty, why? That's the itch you can't scratch. Years grind by. Joe's in prison, playing piano, leaning on God, insisting he's innocent. I loved Mickey. She was my other self, he tells anyone who'll listen. Appeals flop, 2012, 2018. DNA tests on the flashlight fizzle out inconclusive. By 2020, he's 79, heart failing, and the parole board cuts him loose after 33 years. March 31st, he walks out of Huntsville, hands to the sky, a free man, kinda, still branded a killer, still fighting with the Innocence Project to clear his name. Texas courts won't budge, though, 2021. The Supreme Court says no dice. He dies September 23rd, 2024, at 84, heart giving out, swearing to the end he didn't do it. Mickey's sister Penny? She's still sure he's guilty. The town? Split down the middle, whispering over coffee at the diner. So where's the truth? Joe's alibi is tight, but that flashlight's a ghost in the machine. Dunlap's a wild card. Dead men don't talk. Charlie's sketchy but no proof. Clifton's a pressure cooker of secrets. And Mickey's grave at Lane's chapel keeps them all. This ain't a clean ending, buddy. It's a slow burn, a chill that seeps into your bones and stays there, daring you to figure out who really pulled that trigger. Sleep tight.